I don't know what you're talking about. Throw me in your Toyota and get them down there.
Put the one to the back.
Exactly, yeah.
I bet you got a hitch in your car, buddy. Get that right.
Here we go. Miss something. I'm fine. Recording progress.
All right. Middle type, just stops.
Okay, send it to Mike now. Send it to Mike. Get it first. He says he doesn't want to deal with you. Sign it. I don't know why.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the conference, day 6. Anyone in the audience who have to find myself, please raise your hand. We'll bring them to you. Not seeing you. Let's rise to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Your roll call, please.
Yes, I will. Councilmember Flash.
Here.
Councilmember Stern.
Here.
Councilmember Gilmore.
Here.
Mayor Nesco.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Sherman. Here. Councilmember Sapp. Here. And Councilmember Gutierrez.
Here.
Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
The council have any late changes to the agenda? The manager. We did add one from last, one on the.
Wasn't on looking at, it's on the agenda, action number 6 tonight.
Councilman board reports to share.
I do. Shelter Memorial Park. We had a board meeting and we are very close to completing a computer summary of all the plots up there. And that people can access the plots a lot more online and check out who's there. And they're still keeping the cost down, so you can have a low-cost dignified funeral at Shelter Memorial Park. And all the books are looking good from before, and we've taken measures to make sure that, well, maybe we should get into it, but the books are looking a lot better. We'll put it that way. And they're hoping that we can do something about the water rates, because they want to keep the park green the whole year and not let it go brown. So that's my report. Thank you.
Is everyone ready to see the agenda? Is there a motion to approve the agenda published?
Move to approve the consent agenda as published.
Second.
Right, there's a motion and second to approve the consent agenda as published. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, now invites the public to make comments on matters of city business. Comments shall be made to the entire council, not individual council members. Please refrain from any personal disrespectful remarks that create disruption in the meeting. If unreasonable, disruptive conduct continues to be asked to leave the meeting. Donna, you want to sign up for a comment?
We do, Mr. Mayor. Our first speaker is Nick Altieri.
Good evening. My name is Nick Altieri. I'm with the Peninsula Arts Association, and I'm here simply to announce that the Peninsula Arts Association will have their spring art show June 2nd through June 6th here in the lobby of Shelton City Hall. And I wanted to thank the council and Mayor Orozco for having us, hosting us here in the lobby. I especially want to thank Jordan, who's your administrator. I know she wears a lot of hats. Especially thank her. And again, June 2nd through 3rd, and on Wednesday 4th, we'll have a private reception. We'd like to hopefully see all the council members there and Jordan to join us. And pretty much that's it. I'm going to say thank you for hosting us, allowing us to have this event. So that's why I'm here. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support here. Thank you. My name is Steve Mortensen. I'm a big.
Let her call you.
Dave Mortensen, you're our next speaker.
You good? Yeah.
Good.
My name's Dave Morrison. I was a longtime educator here in Shelton. 34 years, not all of here in Shelton, but most of it. Okay, I grew up here. I love this town. And I'm very concerned about some of the paths that we're taking right now. Where I started because going down Highway 3, coming into town, I saw just garbage built up everywhere. And I said, you know, I'm gonna get involved and I'm gonna help clean that up. But as we got into it, we found that it was so big, much bigger than we thought. And so we decided, the Mason County Cleanup Crew, we broke up and found our own group called No More. We're tired of this, what's going on, and some of the things that, what we stand for, we have our own mission statement, educating the public at the locations and problems associated with the homeless in Shelton and Mason County. Putting pressure on public officials to enforce the laws regarding illegal camps in town in Mason County. Using legal action against landowners who allow camps to enforce cleanup of those areas. Enforcing existing ordinances and RCWs that are often overlooked, thus creating a huge negative impact. Our top priorities are getting rid of that ETS truck. It brings in all kinds of terrible things to our town. Enforce illegal camping in the city of Shelton, Mason County. Inform landowners of the illegal camping of their land, take action to enforce cleanup and closure of community life. And we know it's closed now, but that's one thing that was on our agenda. We started a petition and we're getting support through business owners in this area. And we got to do something. As an educator, like I say, if you don't take care of the small stuff, it all becomes big stuff. And we have not taken care of the small stuff. And it is big right now. There are camps up on the hillside above the yacht club. There's areas that are 5 feet thick of garbage. There's needles everywhere. It's hideous. And, you know, I spent 4 weekends picking that up and realized you just couldn't do it. We need your support and we're here to work with you, not against you. We want to get this done. I have a handout. I'm going to give it here to you. You may have already seen it because I know Brian Sperling, this is one copy. Yeah, this is your copy. Okay. There's 40 pages.
We'll get some make for full council.
Close to 40 pages of homeless camps. We gotta do something about this. It's time. No more. We have to do something. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Bill Hyatt.
Good evening, my name is Bill Hyatt. Compared to most of you in this room, I'm relatively new to Mason County and Shelton, only been here a couple of years. I moved from Tacoma partly because of our homeless problem that we had up in Tacoma. I personally suffered a huge loss when a homeless person burned down my warehouse. So I know what can happen with the homeless people. We've got what's called a homeless industrial complex. And if you go ahead and Google that, it'll show you that there's really no effort to really stop what's going on with the homeless problem. The ETS truck that we sat down there and watched the other day, in the span of 1 hour, there was 20 people that went into that facility. They spent an average of 3 minutes in there. They came back out, several people went back in the second time. It's a Pied Piper effect. When you have something that is dispensing methadone or whatever they're dispensing out of there, we talk to the individual. This is a paid venture. All those employees, or 8 to 10 of them, they are paid to be here. They're here 4 hours a day. There's 4 of these trucks and 3 brick and mortar stores strictly for Western Washington. You don't see the homeless problem up in Belfair. You don't see it up in Hoodsport. I can't go to the post office any longer to get my mail because they have to close it because the homeless people were sleeping inside of the building. So it affects me personally, but I cannot come down here at my convenience to get my mail from the post office. I have to wait till the post office is open. It affects me. I'm seeing gang tagging going on in buildings downtown corridor, and I'm also seeing tennis shoes thrown up into the power lines. That's a common sign that gangs are tagging that area, that there's drugs available, and there's also gang activity going on. So, we've got to do something. I was part of that Mason County cleanup group, and over the period of 8 weeks, we cleaned up nearly 70,000 pounds of garbage off that hillside. That was all transferred by hand. So please, work with us. We want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. Thank you.
That's all we have for general public comment.
We have a presentation tonight from the Historical Society. Liz Alpart.
The museums. This picture is from Hoodsport. This was the original Hoodsport school. I think the picture is about 1900, somewhere in there. Next slide, please. So for the first quarter was not super busy. We had just shy of 600 people, 5 international visitors. It will be really interesting to see what happens and what is normally off for international travel. But I believe, yeah, there we are. Australia, Canada, Japan, and then visitors from 14 states. So the museum leaders, people year round, which is, festivals are fabulous for bringing people in, but it's nice to have something that they can go to, when it's just, they came in a few weeks ago and they go, why is everything closed on Tuesday? Except, so anyway, really busy with emails, research, things like that as well. So I had to write this down because print is so small there. We've had about maximum of about 16,000 views on a post. Yeah, down below. And then 448 interactions on our website or our Facebook page. And then with our website, which is I believe on the next page. We've had about 1,200 users on it and a maximum engagement, which I think is pretty good. And yeah, so anyway, our books donations were made. Artist Calling is still a very popular book. And then memberships are our top 3. Next slide, please. This is our current exhibit, More Than a Building, Early Schools in Mason County. So it takes the approach of schools being more than just for education, but they were community centers. So there were probably 100 small schools with just maybe 15 students. And I love this picture. This is one of from our collection from Heckman photos, and we're not sure of the location, but it's probably 1910s, maybe 1920. So this will be open another month, and I think we're going to have a photography exhibit by John Tilesack. We have a walking tour. Finally, new graphic designer. I think she did a super job. It's a lot smaller, more economical to print, and I will bring some upstairs at some point. We also invite you all, we're having a walking tour on May 17th, 2 o'clock, meet at the museum, and that will be put on by Mike Fredson. And able to include a tour of the Colonial House, Green Diamonds, and to let us take a tour, and Patty Case will be our tour guide. That's all I know. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Okay. We now have some proclamations. I'm gonna split them up. Deputy Mayor is gonna read one and I'll read the other. First one is Economic Development Week. Is that me? That's me. All right. Whereas the city of Shelton recognizes that economic development is essential to fostering a vibrant, resilient, and sustainable economy. And whereas Mason County Economic Development Council, EDC, as Mason County Associates Development Organization, has led efforts to recruit new investments, support entrepreneurs, retain and succeed businesses, multiple industries, sectors, and forest products, agriculture, aquaculture, healthcare, and manufacturing, advocate for secure funding for critical infrastructure projects, and helped expand economic opportunities in the region. And whereas in 2024, EDC supported more than 128 local businesses through technical assistance, funding guidance, export training, and on-the-ground support, including in-person visits and follow-up partnerships with SBA, USDA, and Evergreen BizLink. And whereas the EDC actively promoted Shelton and Mason County as business-friendly location, advocating for high-impact projects in clean tech, food processing, manufacturing, and aerospace, representing millions in capital investments and potential job creation. And whereas the EDC cooperated with local schools and colleges, including the Shelton School District, Olympic College, the Evergreen State College, to support job skills training, entrepreneurship, and workforce readiness. And whereas Economic Development Week establishes the International Economic Development Council, highlights the role of economic developers, strengthening communities and creating opportunities across all sectors. Now, therefore, it be resolved, City of Shelton recognizes that the week of May 11th to May 17th, 2025 is Economic Development Week, and reminds individuals of the importance of this community celebration, which supports expanding opportunities, better lives, and moving society forward. And I will sign this after today. The next one will be Public Works Week.
Very much, sir. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Shelton. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employers at all levels of government and the private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. Beyond, whereas it is the public interest of civic leaders and children of Shelton to gain knowledge and to maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works, first responders, and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year of 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by the American Public Works Association / Canadian Public Works Association. Be it now. Resolved, I, the mayor, do hereby designate the week of May 18th through 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designated to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they made to protect our national health, safety, and quality of life. Will be signed this day after the meeting.
And we actually have a couple of our public works directors here. We have Brent Armstrong, who's our assistant public works director, and we have Aaron Nix, which is, what's Aaron's new title?
Another assistant public works director.
Another assistant public works director. Thank you guys for all your hard work, and I'm sure everybody sees you guys out there. You guys out there every day painting poles, lines, making sure that our sewers are working properly and our water is healthy and safe and. You guys do a great job. Year after year, we get awards in our sewer plant and that's Brent back there in the corner. His responsibility to make sure that happens. And I think we've had one probably 5 or 6 since last year, that awards for the sewer treatment plant and the Department of Ecology. That's also great. Just let you staff that you guys do a great job and we appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Now, our first business item, or there is no business item, the first action item is Brent Armstrong to talk about the resolution for an ER network upgrades on.
Evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council. This was a MVR networks upgrade design. We do have a little change from the previous when it was on the business agenda. We have to amend the contract. We did the selection off of our one call pool list. The granting agency allowed us to do that. We just went through the RFQ process for that earlier this year. And that process has a limit of 300,000. So with this contract amendment, we had the amount up to 600,000 to cover the 408 $305.40 of the design cost. This is covered under a grant we received from the Department of Commerce. And so that's the only change I have, is to design the networks at the airport.
All right. Donna, anyone set up a public comment?
No, Mr. Mayor.
May we read the resolution number 1375-0325?
Resolution number 1375-0325. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute a contract amendment and sign a work order with Parametrics.
All right, we have a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 1375-0325 as presented.
All right, comments or questions? We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1375-0325 as presented. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right, up next, another item from Brent.
Yes. Bring forward another design contract for a sewer pipe removal from Parametrics. This is removing the sewer pipe and large rocks in Goldsboro Creek. Nothing has changed from the last presentation on this one. We're just anxious to get ready because of the extensive amount of permitting that's going to involve with this in the waterways and several stakeholders that are really for this pipe removal.
Great. Donna, any second public comment?
No, Mr. Mayor.
We're going to read resolution number 1377-0325.
Resolution number 1377-0325. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to execute an on-call work order with Parametrics to begin design on the removal of a sewer bypass pipe within Goldsboro Creek.
Thank you, Donna. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 1377-0325 as presented.
All right, comments or questions?
Just wanted to say thank you for organizing everybody together to get this done because it will recreate the natural habitat in the bay. And the tribe is looking forward to it, the state's looking forward to it, we are looking forward to it, and make a better, healthy environment for our aquaculture. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1377-0325 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next action item is resolution upgrading the library HVAC system. Assistant Public Works Director Aaron, second more information.
Mayor, Council, thank you for the opportunity to be here. Actually, I have 2 HVAC projects that we're working on. I'll address the library one first. I do want you to know that in total, you guys budgeted for this year's budget of approximately $82,000 to replace these units. We are going to be under that I'll go through this as one of the bids came a little bit higher than we thought, and the other bid was a little bit lower. The reality is that we're not gonna go over budget on this. We're actually gonna be saving about $2,000 in total. So with that, what I want to present is the library HVAC system. We're looking to replace two, I believe there's 4 of the 7.5 ton air conditioners and gas furnaces within that facility. Those are, I've been told, over about 20 years old. And I will tell you, because now I've kind of taken over facilities to try to help that group. I will tell you, they spend a lot of time on those HVAC systems, making sure the fans are working. They do everything in their power that they can. We are at the point where we gotta replace it. There's no other option. So in this particular instance, we had budgeted 32,000. We got several quotes back. The actual low bid that we got was for $37,042.34. Again, that's approximately 5,000 or so above what was budgeted, but you're gonna see cost savings in the next one that I'm gonna bring forward to you of about $6,000. So our recommendation is to please allow us to move forward with these purchases and get them in there to help that facility. Like I said, we have done everything we can to keep those things running. They're just, it's old. It's time to get them in place. So questions, hands.
Right, Donna, you have a public comment.
No, there isn't, Mr. Mayor.
Then read resolution 1380-0425.
Resolution number 1380-0425. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to approve contract number 25-007-SPW with Capital Heating and Cooling for the completion of the library HVAC replacement upgrades.
Thank you, Donna. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 1380-0425 as presented.
Right, we have a motion. Second. To approve resolution number 1380-0425 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Another item from Aaron, upgrades and plan.
I'm gonna correct myself. We've actually are doing 3 HVAC. The other one is the dog shelter. Those were under the spending thresholds for your guys' approval. Those projects are already moving forward. So I just want to make you aware of that. Similarly, same issue. There's one head unit in there trying to cool that facility. It's just not sufficient. So I just wanted to make you aware of that. There's actually 3 HVAC systems that we're working on. The next one that I want to talk to you about is the museum HVAC systems. We're actually going to be replacing 3. They're more of the head unit kinds, the ductless type that you put on, and you'll see in the back, they've identified them 3-ton P series light commercial heat pumps. Those are going to be included within this. Again, I mentioned the cost. Originally, you had budgeted $50,000 for this particular project. The low bid came in about $679.79, savings of about 6,000 or so. So we are making up for that. We are not going to go over that $82,000 limit that was put on there. It's about 80,000. So again, those systems are very old. They need to be replaced. We've done everything we can to make them reach their useful life. They gotta get replaced. So we're asking you to please approve this so we can move forward with that work as well.
Donna, for public comment.
Yes, we do, Mr. Mayor. We have Liz Arbaugh.
First, I want to thank you for looking at this. We have been struggling with those 3 units ever since I've been there. One doesn't work at all. And, we call and they send service people and, they're doing their best, but they are really old. We had an elderly gentleman came in and he goes, "Oh, I put those in before I was retired." And I'm just like, so how old are you? So anyway, I really appreciate the fact that you're doing this consideration, and we truly appreciate it because it's really desperately needed. Thank you.
All right.
That's all we have, Mr.
We
Mayor.
have a motion. Mr. Mayor, we can read the resolution number 1381-0425.
Yes. Resolution number 1381-0425. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to approve contract number 25-008 SPW with Capital Heating and Cooling for the completion of the museum HVAC replacement upgrades.
Thank you. What a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 1381-0425 as presented.
Second.
All right, comments or questions? All right, we have motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1381-0425 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. One more item from Aaron.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. I will say those previous ones you just approved, those were, I believe they're general fund monies that came out.
We're actually using REIT funds.
Oh, REIT.
Yeah,
REIT one.
REIT can be used for maintenance of facilities now. That's some legislation that passed several years ago, so it gives us a little more flexibility with
Thank you.
maintaining some of our infrastructure.
And read as real
Real
estate
estate
excise
excise tax, yes.
and reporting fees, right?
Just, no, real estate excise tax.
The reason why I bring that up, you guys, is this next one that I have before you is all gonna be funded with grant funds. I'm gonna give some, and it's deserving some credit to Mr. Harris, our public works director, in that he has been advocating and pushing staff to get as much out of this particular project as we can. Some additional things that have been added because of some cost savings. 2 new chlorine buildings are gonna be going in, and the idea being we need to have a safe place at our wells to actually inject the chlorine and make it safe. So that's gonna happen. The permits have been obtained. Those are probably you're gonna see that at well 1 and 3. 3, 4, in May. In addition, we've actually been able to do some additional upgrades, and what you have before you is basically a contract amendment. This is the last one for this project. We need the engineer to actually do a little bit more design. We're gonna actually put in some transfer switches. All the ones that we have are very outdated. And we're, what else did we include in here? Transfer switches. Plug-ins for the generators, those kinds of things. Those were not included originally in the design. As we experienced cost savings, we were able to add these into that. So what we're asking is for you to approve amendment number 5, which is going to allow Gray Osborne to finish that design work on those items. And we will be under budget, funded mostly with grant funds. So we're happy to answer any questions.
Comments or public comment?
No, Mr. Mayor.
We're reading resolution number 1382-0425.
Resolution number 1382-0425. A resolution of the council of the city of Shelton, Washington, authorizing the city manager to approve contract amendment number 5 to the professional services agreement with Gray and Osborne Incorporated, titled Well 1 Rehab Project Design Services.
Thank you, Don. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution number 1382-0425 as presented.
Who seconded it? Excuse me, Mr. King.
What's that?
Who did the second?
Both.
Pick one. Okay, thank you.
How much questions?
Just thank you again for increasing our quantity and quality of water in our city.
I did a really quick correct myself from earlier. I totally didn't see Jay there. Jay is also a public works director, and I'm not sure why I skipped you, Jay. Until he said your name, I go, oh, Jay's here. Jay's been a great asset to the city of Shelton, and I don't think without his leadership that we'd be able to do a lot of the hard stuff that we're doing right now with very minimal staff, by the way. Thank you, Jay. Sorry, I skipped you. Until he said your name, I totally spaced you off. All right. We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number 1382-0425 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Vote. Motion carries. Right. The final action item is resolution replacing pump lower Ingleside booster station. Public Works Director Jay Harris for information. This is an addition that was not on our looking ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, Council, Jay Harris, Public Works Director.
Sort of a public works night tonight, I appreciate it. You know, we're trying to turn from, being reactive in our maintenance, our needs, to proactive. And you're seeing that, you're gonna be seeing more of us, right? We have a large backlog of projects right now, and so, you're gonna see us on your agenda quite a bit more. Got a bunch of projects going to bid soon, that sort of thing, get a bunch of things under construction. And so this is sort of the front side of all those. Tonight, we waited too long. We have a pump that burned up at the Angleside booster station. It's over in the Public Works yard. There's two pumps in there with motors on them. And takes water from the high school tank and fills up the Angleside zone reservoir. And what happened, one of the pumps, we rewound it. Every 5 years, we're rewinding the motors. One of the motors completely burned up and it sizzled the whole unit. So the Department of Health has standards. We need a lead pump and a pump waiting there. And so if the lead pump gives out, the lag pump will turn on and take care of the mission. We're down to one now, so I don't have a backup. So this is the reason for this resolution tonight that I want to call an emergency. There's an extended lead time to order the pump and motor, probably about 7 weeks. We're worried about tariffs, what's gonna happen there, and availability. We'll see when we actually get a purchase order signed, get out, order the equipment, get it put in before summer demands pick up. Now, at the end of the day, if it does take a while, we do have a backup. What happens is we'll connect the Mountain View Reservoir to the Angleside Reservoir. They just happen to be both the same overflow elevations. It's going to reduce the capacity in our system, but we'll still be able to service the hill if we have the last pump goes out. So your fingers crossed it doesn't happen. But approving this resolution tonight will allow us to move forward. We'll have one new pump over in that building then and motor. We have a project coming up. It's called the Upper Angleside Booster Station Upgrade. The design is almost complete. That will give us more capacity in our reservoir up there. The second pump and motor, that's crime driven, will be replaced with that project. So we'll have 2 new pumps and motors in there, new controllers, new electrical, all sorts of things over there to make it much more robust. We're talking to our insurance company also. We're spending money out of the water fund right now to go purchase it. And we are hopeful that our insurance company will reimburse us for this replacement cost. Thank you.
Right. Donna, anyone have public comment?
No, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody want to talk on this pump since have it on the agenda? Right. We're reading number 1384-0425.
Resolution number 1384-0425. A resolution of the city of Shelton, Washington, finding that an emergency and special market conditions exist and waiving competitive bidding requirements under RCW 39.04.280 Booster Pump.
Thank you, Donna. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, move to adopt resolution number 1384-0425 as written.
Right. Comments or questions?
Just one thing again, Public Works Week, thank you so much for what you're doing for the city. We have 2 new developments coming into town, and so making sure taking care of our water is imperative as we move forward. Also, I wanted to thank former council member Deidre Peterson, who gave us a book about how to kill a town. The number one thing of how to kill a town was to not take care of the water, and we're doing that, and we're being proactive about it. So thank you very much, Jane, your leadership in the Public Works Department, and making sure that we have clean in quantity, clean in quality of water. So thank you so much.
Thank you to the Public Works team.
Again, thank you for this. We definitely want to be having water issues going into June. Fire season and watering season. I actually watered today myself, so don't want water problems. And that booster station is also responsible for what, another 770 homes.
In the future, yeah, when the Upper Angleside Booster Station comes online, that helps maintain the Angleside Reservoir levels. If there's a high fire demand, we're able to gain about another 700 houses up in that region. So it takes dead storage out of the reservoir. And so that project should be bid later this summer and in construction this winter. And so we're bringing on capacity as part of this next upgrade, pump upgrade project.
We have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 1384-0425 as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we are down. Mark, you have city manager report tonight.
Couple things for you tonight, Mayor, Council. Reminder, our community cleanups start this Saturday, May 10th. Callahan Park from 9 to 3. City residents can drop off their garbage or debris up there. We have limited to, no tires or appliances or other paints and chemicals, but certainly household garbage is allowed. And then Saturday the 17th up off of Summit across from Shelton Outfitters from 9 to 3 again, the second community cleanup event. Next Wednesday, legislative wrap up out at Public Workshop. We'll be hearing from our 35th district delegates about the last session, kind of what transpired and what to expect, and the opportunity to thank them for their support. And again, another water project, which is $500,000 for the design of a new tank in the Mountain View pressure zone. So that we're looking forward to, as we've talked about, water capacity and water storage capacity and increasing that, moving that project along and hopefully seeking funding in the future for construction of that project after the design's completed. Farmers Market continues on Saturdays, kicked off last Saturday, right next door at 425 Coda in our parking lot. So happy to have that going downtown on Saturdays. There's a Mother's Day Dash Sunday from Huff and Puff around Wallace Neyland Boulevard, 13th Street, or Brockdale and Pine Lake, and finishes back there early Sunday morning. And then just want to recognize again the event recognition night Marshal Lewis Jacobs last Friday over at the state capitol. In our PD department in the near future, there'll be a plaque recognizing Mr. Jacobs and his service to our community and ultimate sacrifice with his murder while he was on duty here in the city of Shelton. So it would be great to recognize that individual for his contributions and efforts here in the city of Shelton. That's our
Mention that.
Please.
A great ceremony the chief attended. I attended. City clerk Don Off attended. The governor was there and lots of police. I felt really safe. But it was a great ceremony. And I think Chief might, I'll tell you the story really quick on what happened to him in 1936.
Absolutely. He prior to becoming a Shelton police officer, he was recently a sheriff in the 1920s. In the 1930s, he became a Shelton police officer. In 1936, early morning, dark hours, he tried to arrest a couple individuals, their brothers, for disturbing the peace. They were drunk and causing problems in local taverns. And during that confrontation, they ended up taking away an impact weapon, which was called blackjack at that time. Hit him a few times over the head, and he spent a few days in the hospital. Ultimately succumbed to his injuries.
And we and his family that are still here in Shelton, local business owners and school teachers, and it was really nice to see them and honor him for that. All right. Any other items of discussion?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge a couple of things. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is also Lupus Awareness Month. And for anybody that does not know what lupus is, it is a chronic autoimmune disease with no cure. It can affect all parts of the body, and it most commonly causes kidney and heart failure. It's estimated that 1.5 million Americans are living with lupus, and 90% are women. May 10th is Lupus Awareness Day, where lupus advocates wear purple to raise awareness for and advocate for a cure. For more information, I would advise people to check the Lupus Foundation of America's website.
Anything else? All right. Next meeting is Tuesday, May 20th at 6